Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers, and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's. If you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action. Speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have a go inside the description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaica Young Police channel. JamaicaYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and and we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yes, I am being labeled as being bad mind. As a youth, a man bad mind from Concrete Jungle Kingston 12, who eat others, who are killers. But I believe that every killer must pay for their crimes. So I've said before and I'll say again, the biggest, I'm going to let you watch a video of a reggae artist named Mojo. But I can tell you, the biggest promoters of criminality in Jamaica right now is our dancehall and reggae artists. They are the greatest promoters of criminality in Jamaica. Are not necessarily the residents of volatile communities themselves. No. While these heroes are often demonized in the media, when I say demonized, the media would put it in such a way like if, for instance, somebody from a person of a certain stature get killed in this community, they demonize this community and make them know that nothing good is from this community. But guess what? These are the same people. When the police kill these miscreants, they are the same one that demonize the police. But they put these people on a pedestal. They make all the excuses in the world for these people, for killers. You understand? The people in the media. So while, so the true architect and the amplifier of Jamaica's toxic criminal culture are many of our reggae and dancehall artists. Yes, for decades they have used their platform not to uplift, not to educate, but to glorify gang violence, vilify law enforcement, and normalize a code of silence that continue to suffocate our justice system. So let's examine a recent and glaring example. Phantom Mojo, yes, the so-called big belly Corey Goat Rastaman, a man once associated with conscious roots reggae, now capture on video giving coded support and verbal validation to some of the most dangerous criminal networks in Jamaica. This including infamous gangs such as Klansman, One Order, and those operating out of Red Hills Road. Groups that have left entire communities traumatized, families displaced, and thousands dead over the past 3 decades. And the entire communities still reeling from what have taken place by these heartless criminals. And let here is a grown man, an artist with public influence, metaphorically bigging up and hailing these same groups in broad daylight without shame or consequence. Yet Fantan Mojo here do it a Rasta man. We are gonna hey, look here. As we said before, I must say again, we are not here to sugarcoat anything. We are just here to tell you the real Mama Papa truth. I also want to let you watch a video for far too long. Jamaican music culture once a global beacon of resistance. Righteousness and Rastafari consciousness has become a tool of terror. The line, "Inform of the dead," yeah man, "Inform of the dead," has become a staple in dancehall anthems. It is not just a lyrics, it's a death sentence. The message is clear. If you see something, say nothing or die. Let me remind you, this is a part of the black culture, you know. I don't know about other, I tell you about my race of people. This is a death sentence, you know. The message is clear. If you see something, say nothing or die. These artists have helped to create a nation where witnesses are murdered, where victims live in silence, and where children grow up believing that to be bad is to be brave. This isn't just an artistic evolution, it's a cultural regression. It's musical terrorism disguised as entertainment. And where did it start? Don't know further than the man the people continue to worship blindly. Michael Norman Manley. Yes, it was Manley who in his misguided attempt to socialize and normalize criminality, his attempt at social compassion laid the philosophical groundwork for today's chaos. When Prime Minister Hugh Shearer advocated for strong police intervention against rising youth violence, it was Manley who retorted. Yeah man, Michael Manley said, you cannot let the police kill the youth just because they are accusing of killing another person. Let the system work. But what Manley failed to recognize, or worse, intentionally ignore, is that the Jamaica's system was already broken. The court were slow, corruptible, and under-resourced. The police lacked forensic tools, and prisons were overcrowded, and criminals had more guns than books in their homes. Manley's word didn't save lives, they emboldened killers. His doctrine of leniency was interpreted on the street as immunity. He gave birth to the victim-blaming, gun-healing era we now live in. So today, when an artist like Fantan Mojo or any other masquerading as conscious messengers use his platform to big up gangsters and condemn informers, we must remember, this didn't happen overnight. It is a result of decades of unchecked propaganda, political pandering, and a music industry that sold out truth for hype and wisdom for war. Jamaica cannot move forward until we confront these hard truths, until we call out the artists who hide behind culture to push criminality, until we stop electing leaders who are complicit in planting these poisonous seeds, and most importantly, until we stop worship false heroes and start demanding real accountability from our musicians, our politicians, and ourselves. So I'm going to let you watch man, Fantan Mojo, Rastaman, a big up criminality. Man, Clansman, One Order, Red Hills Road Dance. You watch, you listen, you decide.
Others Gas, to the Clangs, to the Casha Park, to the Redis Road, to the whole Jamaica link. We're bad.
Honestly, I don't understand how someone is going to say I am bad mind for looking out for our Jamaican people, to tell them that in a crime violating another person's rights is wrong. How am I a bad person? How am I a bad mind? When you take a moment to really listen, not just hear, but listen to the message of artists like Fantan Mojo, Buju Banton, Vibes Cartel, Popcorn, Beanie Man, and others are spreading, you begin to understand why so many Jamaicans, especially our young men, are lost in a downward spiral of violence, crime, and hopelessness. Let's be honest. Fantan Mojo, once seen as a roots-conscious artist, has joined the chorus of entertainers who are not just entertaining, but indoctrinating. When you go on a video, bigging up known murderers and criminal gangs, he simply giving credence to these kind of behavior. He isn't simply making music. He is sending a dangerous signal to young, impressionable boys in the garrisons who looked up to him like a prophet. Fantan Mojo is seen as like a prophet in our community based on the songs that he have done in the past. So when you really take a moment to really listen, not just hear, just listen, you understand? You begin to understand why so many of our youths are them lost. Fantan Mojo, once seen as a roots-conscious artist, has joined the chorus of entertainers who are not just entertaining but indoctrinating our youths. When you goes on a video bigging up known murderers and criminals, he isn't simple making music. He's sending a dangerous signal to young, impressionable boys in the garrison who look up to him like a prophet. He's telling them that there is glory in gunmanship, honor in gang life, and status in silence. He's enforcing the warped belief that being feared is more important than being educated or respected. Then there is Buju Banton, who despite his talent and spiritual posturing, returned from a U.S. federal prison sentence for drug trafficking, not with humility, but with defiance. He has used his post-prison platform to mock law enforcement, push anti-informer rhetoric, and align himself with individuals who have long been a part of Jamaica's criminal underbelly. Is this what rehabilitation looks like? And what can we say about Vibes Cartel, arguably the most influential figure in modern Jamaican music? A man serving a life sentence of murder, yet still he is hailed as a Gaza king. His music, much of it recorded before and even during his incarceration, glorify murder, vengeance, and anti-police sentiment. His supporters treat him not as a convicted felon, but as a folk hero. As if being behind bars is a badge of honor instead of consequences of taking another man's life. So Vibes Cartel returned from prison as a hero to the average man on the street because he beat the system. He kill a boy who should have dead long time because he's a criminal too. Vibes Cartel is not a criminal, he's a saint. He have halo over him head. Popcorn, another despicable and a disciple of this culture, continue the legacy of badmanism, same unruly boss in his songs, videos, and public persona. Though he occasionally dabbles in upliftment tracks, his general image leave heavily on gangsters' bravado, disrespecting authority and promoting a rebellious, careless lifestyle that young boys try to emulate, not realizing that Popcorn, like most of these artists, doesn't live in the ghetto anymore. He's not dodging bullets or sleeping on concrete. He's protected, rich, and far removed from the violence he helps to glorify. So what do they expect will happen to the young men in this country? Do they expect them to rise up and become scholars, doctors, scientists, and nation builders when their musical role models are telling them the police are the enemy and that informers are bad people? Informing and killers make you worse than the killer himself? Oh, that. Do they expect our sons to choose education over extortion when the soundtrack of their daily lives is filled with lyrics praising murderers, belittling victims, and making martyrs out of gang leaders? Do they think, who have never known a father, who grew up surrounded by poverty and violence, will reject the gang lifestyle when their favorite entertainers treat it as a rite of passage? The truth is painful, but it must be told. Those artists are not merely musicians, they are cultural engineers, and what they are building is a monument of destruction. This is a monument to destruction. Every lyric matter, every shout out to a done, every verse calling for informers' death, every video where a gun is flashed like trophy. These things are not art for art's sake. They are instructions, and the youths are following them to the grave, to prison, or to a life of perpetual war. It's time for Jamaicans, especially parents, educators, police officers, religious leaders, to stand up and call this out for what it is: mental poisoning, musical betrayal, a deliberate effort to turn young, poor black boys into disposable pawns in a criminal empire that enriches a few and buries the rest. And to the artist, you cannot play innocent anymore. You cannot enjoy the riches and fame while pretending your words hold no power. You are responsible. You have blood on your lyrics, and you must be held accountable, not just by the law, but by the people whose children you continue to destroy with every beat and bar. You guys are not only evil, but are working for the devil, not doing anything to uplift our people. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.